She is an Enneagram certified coach and founder and course creator of Power Mom Mindset, helping mothers of teens cope, manage, and overcome teen depression right at home. So she is leading us tonight with her message of hope and experience with parenting a depressed teenager. So here is Misti Dobson with Creating a Winner.
I don't know if my son had ever rolled his eyes at me before his 13th birthday, but I know he rolled his eyes at me on his 13th birthday. Teenagers are notorious for eye rolls and slamming doors or just ignoring us on their phone. My son Cyrus is 18 now, and we've almost made it through the terrible teens. Barely. I remember that first report card in middle school. 70%. Why do you have 4 missing assignments? That night, my husband and I met in the hot tub. We talked about positive parenting and what could we do to help Cyrus be his best. 70% is okay, but honor roll is better. And we want our kids to strive for excellence. And we don't want to take that hard line that our parents took with us. Cyrus was also playing baseball. Again, being supportive parents, we signed up to volunteer. We never missed a game. We played catch with him in the yard, and we gave super helpful tips in the car ride home. We were on this mission to help our child succeed. For some reason, though, his grades kept dropping. And then Cyrus shows up to a baseball game, and he doesn't even have his shoes. Cyrus doesn't want to play catch with us anymore. And there were nothing but eye rolls in the car. Okay, another hot tub chat. Cyrus's grades are down to the 50s now. Nothing is working. I guess we take that hard line. So we took away the phone and we grounded him after report cards. We put him in the cadet program after one teacher said might be helpful. Unfortunately, by the time Cyrus was 15, he was vaping, he was stealing, he lied to us about everything. He was one of those teens that respected no rules. More hot tub talks. How do we help Cyrus win? Everything we try fails. Come on, kid. Just hand your assignment in. Practice your baseball. Please quit stealing and vaping. Please just respect just one rule. Nope. Just eye rolls. One day, I tried out a brand new podcast by Carla White. It was called Radical Shift. Yeah, Carla, we need a radical shift over here. She talks about mindset and the power of gratitude. I listened to all 5 of her podcasts in one day, and I came home pumped up. Positivity was my drug of choice, and I was dealing it to everybody, especially my family, because they couldn't run and hide. We had the best few days that we'd had in years. And Cyrus even got a report card in. Instead of hosting my quarterly freakout session or diving into a lecture about the value of hard work and effort, I stayed calm this time. It must have been the first time I ever asked him, Cyrus, how can I help you? I mean, at this point, the kid is literally taller than me. But when I asked him that, he collapsed. I can't do it anymore. I just wish it was over. Whoa, honey, it's okay. School will be over soon, before you even know it. You can do this. I'm going to help you. The next morning, instead of shouting like I normally would from the top of the stairs, "Get up, Cyrus," I actually walked down to his room this time. I was all gussied up in my nice heels and fancy pearls and brand new positive mindset. And when I walked in the door, his words became crystal clear. I can't do it anymore. I wish it was over. My heart shattered as I realized those words had nothing to do with school. Cyrus, would you like me to take you to the hospital? He nodded and we drove straight there. Now I'm still in my heels and I bravely walked right up to that triage nurse and said, "My son is suicidal." "Step out of the chair, ma'am." I was sidelined. I had to sit and watch as she interviewed him. I had to sit there as they took my little boy, and the nurse just shook her hand at me. "Not you." When they finally called for me, I rushed to the back, and there was Cyrus, sitting alone, head down, in an actual padded room. The doctor went on to explain to me that Cyrus was most definitely suicidal, and he'd even created a suicide plan. He'd felt this way for years and scored a 19 out of 20 on the depression checklist. They were going to allow him to come home with me, but he needed antidepressants and therapy immediately, as he was a very severe case. We left the hospital with some pills and some pamphlets, and that was officially the worst night of my life. The next few days felt extremely hopeless. Cyrus was drugged out on his meds, could barely stay awake. The words in my head on repeat were, "You are the worst mother ever." My husband sat at the table. I can vividly remember him just calling all these numbers saying, "We need help now, not in 3 to 6 weeks." There was no support. Not fast anyways. So we went back to the hot tub. Okay, he's depressed. We've got to take some pressure off. We got to stay positive. How can we help Cyrus win? That's where it hit me. The doctor said he'd been suicidal for years, and we hadn't seen it. I didn't see it until that morning. After only 3 days of being that new positive me, Cyrus shared, I can't do it anymore. And I finally heard him. So I put the podcasts on again. I listened to them all again. My investment in my own personal development is now life or death for my child. And I'm not letting him down again. I'd been learning that gratitude shifts your perspective. So I wondered, can I shift my perspective on Cyrus? I had been trying, my husband and I, we've been trying to help him be successful. But what I hadn't considered was the message that he was hearing from all of that help. So I wrote out a win list, 100 things that are amazing about Cyrus. How kind and caring he is. How he says, I love you, Mom, even around his friends. His zest for life and passion for trying out new hobbies. On and on, I wrote this list. And with that list, I created a winner in my mind. My husband and I read the win list over and over again. We changed our hot tub talks to how proud we were of him as he was and the great man that we believed he could be. We celebrated everything. 51%? Amazing. You put a dish in the dishwasher? Thank you. That took one thing off my day. I appreciate that, Cyrus. We hyped up all of his strengths and we stopped focusing on the weaknesses. The mindset switch inside of us directly impacted how we treated him. We also went to work normalizing and modeling coping skills at home. Meditation, exercise, personal development. These are not just things for struggling people. These are strategies for success and happiness. And before we could understand what was happening, Cyrus transformed. He took full ownership of his mental health, started using those coping skills. First, he tested a 9 out of 20, then a 2 out of 20, and he was off of his antidepressants in 5 months. Then he started to create wins for himself. He got his first job, his driver's license, and he started passing all of his classes. He stopped stealing and asked for support to quit vaping. Last year, I witnessed a day I never thought was going to happen. Cyrus graduated. My message today: how you show up as a parent matters. When I came home that day, bursting with positivity and gratitude and joy, and it was exuding from me, something shifted. And I became a safe place that he could come to. Then when we started treating him as a winner, even though he still wasn't trying at school, he still wasn't trying at sports, he was still making choices we didn't like. But when we saw him as a winner, and when we treated him as a winner, he started to believe he was a winner. Once he believed it, he started to make the winning choices. that we'd been so desperate for him to make. Suicide is the second leading cause of death in teenagers. Tonight, at this event even, we've talked a lot about society and how that shapes our views. Seeing our teens as more than just eye rolls or school grades and athletic performance is a wonderful first step. It's not a bad thing to want your child to be successful or to do better in school or sports. Just be sure to also celebrate the little things and see them bigger than they see themselves. Back to you, Joelle.